Okay, today I'm going to be sharing my final verdict on the pros and cons of Fender's two entry-level guitar amplifier series, the Fender Champion amps and the Fender Mustang LT amps. I've owned this LT25 for about a year and a half, and I owned a Champion 20 for over 4 years, playing them both extensively. And so I really feel like I've got a good basis of comparison. In addition, I played them both with their stock speakers as well as the exact same upgrade replacement speaker, the Monster Celestion TF0818. And I did demos on how to replace that speaker in both of the amps. I'll link those at the end, as well as my previous comparison video of the tones and features of these two amps. Now, the LT25 has a big brother, the LT50. The Champion has a big brother, now the Champion 2 that Fender just came out with. They've upped the wattage from 20 to 25 watts on the lower one and from 40 to 50 on the mid-range, and then you've got a Champion 100. They all share basically the same features and the same cyber engine. So the tones, the effects, the amp models are all basically the same. You've just got bigger enclosures, bigger speakers, more wattage, right? Okay, so I'm going to kind of skip to the chase here for today's video and try to keep it relatively short. I'm really still preferring the Champion series. The Mustangs have way more features, so if you're looking for versatility, you're probably going to want to go with a Mustang. It has the built-in tuner, the Champion does not. You can run 4 effects at a time with the Mustangs: a compression or drive, a modulation, a delay, and a reverb. With the Champion series, you pretty much are selecting 1 effect at a time, although I will say it has a combination delay reverb setting on the Champion that's phenomenal. It's better than, in my opinion, anything that's in here. I don't really understand that. Doesn't make sense. The Mustangs are newer. You'd think the effects are better, but they're not. My other quibble is I'm a big tremolo user. I really am looking for a classic 1960s blackface twin deluxe Princeton type of clean tone with some good reverb and tremolo. Fender's been known for tremolo for 60 plus years, right? And yet on the Champion, you can't run tremolo and reverb at the same time. Makes no sense. They didn't fix that for the Champion 2. Bad on you, Fender. That was a major, major fail. The other major fail related to tremolo is the tremolo kind of sucks on the Mustang. You have to crank it to like 8 to even hear it, and by that point, it's really sucking the tone in a weird kind of way. So, not a fan of the tremolo on this at all. You definitely can dial in some okay reverbs and delays on the Mustang, but it's no way near as easy on the Champion, where you just click to your favorite reverb or delay setting, again, my favorite being the one that combines the two, and then say how much you want, and you're good, and they're excellent quality. Now on the flip side, one of the surprises on the good side for the Mustang is the built-in overdrive and distortion and fuzz pedals are actually pretty good. You would not expect that in a budget amplifier at all. But there's a Klon, there's a blues driver, and there's a fuzz face that's actually fantastic. So again, I'm primarily a clean player, probably 90% of the time. If you're not, if you're playing with overdrive, distortion, fuzz more, again, you're probably going to want to lean more to the Mustang, because not only do you have those built-in dirt pedals of all levels of drive, but you've also got more dirty amp models in here as well. So you can dial up a dirty amp model, like there's a 70s UK rock or something, basically a Marshall, that's pretty good. Or you could just pull up a blackface twin throw on the fuzz face and have a savage singing overdriven lead tone. On the Champion, there is a good distorted model called the Supersonic, which is also on here. You'll hear it on my demos if you watch any of those. And it's pretty good, but it's heavy. It's very heavy. There's no sort of mid-level crunch on the Champion. Like the Vox model sucks on both of these. I don't know why Fender has never been able to model Vox, but they can. But the Supersonic it's good. So if you bought one of the higher level Champions, the 50 or the 100 that has channel switching, then you would have your built-in clean and dirty. Just not quite as easy as you would with this, where you can add dirt pedals. So after talking about all the versatility of this one, why am I still saying I prefer the Champion? You'll have to listen to my video, but I really feel like the Champion sounds more like a real amp. There's something a little bit more digital. They're both digital, but there's something a little bit more digital sounding about the Mustang. It's subtle. It's not a big difference. And when you crank them, there's really no difference between the two amps. In fact, this amp sounds phenomenal cranked. If you dial up again the Fender Twin, crank it with this 100-watt speaker in here, you can totally gig this thing. I mean, you might laugh with an 8-inch speaker, 25 watts, but I'm not kidding. It's incredibly loud and holds together really, really well. Sounds phenomenal. But I'm mostly using these, I'm mostly wanting these as a home solution, you know, a quick plug and play where I don't want to set up my pedal board, don't want to fire up a tube amp. And for that, the low volume thing, I like the Champion better. This is obviously an aesthetic thing, but I prefer the looks of the Champion. These are ugly, right? Let's face it, these are ugly. The Champion also has the front mounted controls, which I've always preferred. You know, these are okay. They're pretty handy, but you know, there's a menu, there's an app. The Champion, what you see is what you get. You know, it's just much more like a traditional amplifier. And for me, it sounded more like a traditional amplifier. I thought part of that might be because the LT25 is closed back and the Champion 20 is not. But I tried this one with the back off, and it didn't make any difference. It still sounded pretty much the same. So, final recommendation, Fender, you need to upgrade the Mustang series. It's been over 4 years now, 4.5 years, almost 5. You need to upgrade the Mustang LT and the GTX series. You've just upgraded the Champions with a pretty minor upgrade, but I would probably go for a Champion if I was in the market for this. All right, if you have any questions or comments, post them below, and as always, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.